Welcome back, everybody, to the Over Your Head podcast with co-hosts George and
Eddie,
what's happening, everyone. We really appreciate all the love you guys showed
thank you
on the
so much
last
for all the
episode.
love, everybody sharing, liking, commenting, retweeting, Facebook, Facebook, my family members, my friends that I grew up with. Thank you for all the love. We love and appreciate all of you, and it's just not a one episode thing. We expect love on every episode because we're gonna bring it every single week.
We appreciate it, guys. But yeah, man, just want to get into these topics that we got in mind.
Yeah, so we're gonna start off talking about the NBA. Where do we start? I don't know where to start.
The first thing I want to talk about is the play-in tournament that they got going on. I mean,
It's
what are your thoughts on the play-in
it's what is
tournament?
it, 6 to 9 or 7 to 9?
It's 7 through 10. The seven
Seven
through
through
ten
10.
seeds play each other. Depending on the outcome of that, they get
That's
the
so. That's
No,
so.
I think it's 7 to 9. 7 to 9.
sure.
That would be uneven.
That's one.
Oh
Seven
yeah,
through
yeah.
10.
No, yeah. How you said it was right.
7-10.
7-10, yeah, 7-10. Because it's two versus two.
That's such like a fucking new thing. That's so stupid.
Do you think it's because like the NBA commissioner or just the NBA top brass feel like they have to revamp the game or else
Yeah, I
people will
just
get
feel like
bored?
there's too many voices in their heads, basically telling them that they need to change this and change that, and they feel like they constantly need to like
Innovate.
innovate and just change certain, like the same way that they changed the All-Star, and like it's like the first half is like a different game from the second
Yes.
half. It's
Yeah.
like you're doing, after a while you're just doing too much. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you this because I did like what they did with the All Star in terms of it was to a certain amount of points because that made it a lot more competitive.
I did like that because
A
that
lot more
that added
competitive.
the street ball element of it, whereas like all game to 15
Yeah.
straight up, and then it's like there's no ifs ands or buts. Is like whatever happens, whatever foul, whatever. This is what we need to get to win. I do like
I
that
like
part
that
of
as
it.
well because it made people like it made the All Star players take
Yeah,
the game more
yeah,
seriously.
yeah. It added a different type of energy to the game. But yeah, I do like that aspect of it. But the whole
The whole play-in
was it
tournament.
7 to 10,
7 through 10, 7 through 10.
That's just too much, man. Because these people have to. You know how many games are in a season? 82 games.
82 games.
It's like 82 games to fight for a 6 to 9 seed or 6 to 8 seed.
What I feel, man, honestly, is that it's not fair to the teams that even though you didn't, bust your ass and get like fourth or third or something like that, if you got eighth, you
Yeah,
did
some
enough.
people have to crawl their way out, and it's a three-way tie.
You did
and
enough
there's
to
like three,
earn your
four, there's like
playoff
in the
seeding.
East, there's like 3, 4 teams that are a game
They
or
did
two.
enough to earn their playoff seeding.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
gotta
one of those
respect
things where you
that.
can't take
Don't-
that away from them
Yeah,
by
exactly.
going ahead and making this whole play-in
Yeah, so
tournament.
don't say, oh, you made it. Okay, now you have this to do. You have another hurdle.
Yeah, I think that's why, especially because the other teams. I mean, if they would have done it maybe a little differently, like let's say like the first, like 7 through 10, let's say those four teams, if they have seeding, if they're not seeding, sorry, if they have their records being to a certain like there's only one or two games that separate
I
them,
would get that.
I would get that because it kind of, but I don't know, the way they did is just a little bit messed up to me.
I agree.
Although I don't like how LeBron's complaining about it. That's something I don't like because he didn't have a single problem with it before, and now that he might face having to play in that play-in game, he has this whole
Is that
song and dance
that
about
didn't
it.
exist the last time they weren't doing so well? Because last year they were what, first in the West?
They were first in the
Yeah.
West, yeah.
So obviously
First or second, I
Why
think
would he
it
bring it up if he's
fluctuated.
first in the West? But last
But
time,
now it's a problem,
I
man.
think I think he was complaining because it was during like the pandemic when that happened and all the
yeah, they were
shut
making a
down.
bunch of exceptions and different rules.
He was
Like kind
oh
of
damn, like people probably don't have a level playing field type shit.
yeah, and they're winging it. They're winging it too.
Yeah.
And there's teams that went like longer than other teams without playing, and if they're in eighth seed, then what's the point of them playing a game? So it kind of gave cities something to look forward to because at that time they weren't getting any basketball. So and that aspect I do understand that, but now it's just stupid because things are closer. Well, they're pretty much back to normal aside from the capacity of the arenas.
There's still like
Not every
limited
arena
capacity.
is full capacity. Some don't have any. I'm not sure if any. Some of them don't have fans at all. But I know there's a difference. But yeah, it's just too much, man. Just you're making too many fucking rules. This is too much, to be honest.
It could be all of that what you said, or it could be just more money, more games.
That's a really good point because those games will generate some certain amount of revenues because they're technically playoff games if you think about it. Technically, the intensity of the game is gonna be the same as a playoff.
That's true. That's true. That is very true.
But yeah, to deviate from that now, who do you think should deserve who do you think deserves to win the MVP award this season?
Well, Not Chris Paul. I'll start off with that.
I think Chris Paul should win it all.
No, hell no. The man is averaging what, like 15 to 7 or some shit like that.
Maybe like 17-7.
17 to 7.
You give that man his full respect to those
No,
17
man.
points.
It's great that he's still able to produce at this level at this age, but fucking MVP need to stop.
I'll tell you this
Stop.
though, he got added to the Suns, better said, and they immediately started winning. So he was literally
No,
the missing piece
He
from that
has
organization,
huge value.
especially in the locker room.
Yeah, of course. But if
Man.
that was the point, then LeBron should get it every year, which is like the argument every single year, but they never actually do it. LeBron brings the team from look what the Cavs were when the LeBron left
That's a good point.
to a finals, a
He
championship
completely
team.
changes an organization.
Exactly.
But man, think about this. Think about this, right? In 09, right? Was it 09?
Oh wait, are you talking about D
Hold
Rose?
up. No, 09. Chris Paul could have been, you know how he's playing alongside D-Book?
Mm-hmm.
He could have been playing alongside Kobe. Imagine that.
Oh, that wasn't 09. That was like 2010 or 11
Yeah, like
when David Stern voided the trade.
When David served the trade, yeah.
I can't say goddamn that man. He's not with us.
Stern?
Yeah, he passed
Oh.
away.
Yeah, man, you can't blaspheme.
But yeah, man.
As nasty as he's with Devin Booker, he would have been so much nastier with Kobe.
I agree.
Automatic championship.
Or it could have been toxic.
You think?
Chris Paul and Kobe both upset in a locker room. Imagine that.
I don't think they would have had a lot of reasons to be upset. I think they would have been winning games. Pau Gasol's
They
up
would
in
have
there
had to
too.
keep Andrew Bynum.
Yeah, but what was he doing? He wasn't doing that much anyway.
Andrew Bynum and the Lakers he was the second best center in the league.
Yeah.
For like a year and a half? And
Like
then he
2,
got
3
traded to
years?
Philly, or he went to Philly and decided to
He
ball
won a
and
ring.
break his knees.
He won a ring,
Come on now.
right? He won a ring with them.
He got
With
the
Pau
ring.
Gasol and these people.
They beat the Celtics, but I'm saying, come on. Like
As soon as-
he
as
wasn't
soon
the integral piece in winning.
He was a big piece, and as soon as he left the Lakers,
He wasn't Shaq.
Huh?
He wasn't Shaq.
Nobody Shaq.
He got 2 rings with him.
He got 2 rings with them, and
Yeah,
he was considered the second best center, aside from behind Dwight Howard.
Yeah, to the 2011-2012 season, I think that was the season before they got Dwight. He was averaging 18 and 11. That's pretty good.
And at the time, centers weren't putting up numbers like that.
I'll tell you that because
Next to Paul
Nikola Vucevic right now is putting up like 24 and 11.
You mean Jokic?
No, Vucevic. From
From
Chi-
the one that played for Orlando,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he
the
plays for
Bulls, yeah.
Chicago now. Who's he playing now?
plays for Chicago now. He's putting up 24 and like 11.
I actually followed him for a while, and in Orlando, there was a couple years where he should have been an All-Star, where they gave to fucking Roy Hibbert, averaging like 11 and 9 at 7-1 because the Pacers were in the first, second seed. See,
You know what?
a lot of these awards and these things are given to players are sometimes popularity things, because
Like a contest, it's a
before the
popularity
Heat,
contest.
before Roy Hibbert digged down the Heat and was playing like a young Orlando Shaq.
And let's just talk about that because he only digged down the Heat
Yeah.
because the Heat had no center.
Yeah, it was
like
like-
Chris
it was like-
Bosh was the center,
it was like
trying
you,
to play
like
grab
UD
ass with
and
everybody.
like Eric Dampier and Jarvis Varnado,
Jarvis Renato,
Dexter
man.
Pittman,
Dexter Pittman,
Greg Oden,
just a bunch of slow ass
Big
dudes,
Z.
man.
You get me? So we made centers look like superstars.
Then we got Birdman, but he was a power forward.
Yeah. Oh, but he was a
I think he was like a
no, he was a backup center. He was a
I
center
don't
that came out the bench.
because he was a skinny center.
Yeah, but he
wasn't a
still
big
like,
man like
he was
that.
still like 7 feet tall.
No, he was
like
not.
6'10",
He was
6'11".
like being lanky and like
Lanky.
protecting the rim.
But he's not lanky. He was strong.
I don't think he was that strong, man.
Nah, I feel like he was kind of lanky though.
Why? Because of the bird.
Nah, he lanky built.
Yeah, he was lanky built.
Mm.
It's like saying Jaren Jackson is built.
It said Jared Jackson.
Jaren Jackson from Memphis.
Yeah, but yeah. So back to the point, Chris Paul should not be no MVP.
Oh, let me just say I agree with you. I don't think he should be MVP.
That's a popularity contest.
But come on, he's doing good.
The only reason they're even mentioning that is because of Phoenix. Phoenix doing well.
The
And
record is
If we're
fantastic.
being honest, then Devin Booker should have a bigger shot of being MVP than Chris Paul.
It's a good point. But the thing is, Devin Booker had a very similar team last year to this year. He didn't do anything with it.
But Chris Paul better numbers, no? Chris Paul has better.
He has
numbers.
better numbers than Chris Paul. Chris Paul does not have better numbers than
So
D-Book.
why are we even talking about Chris Paul being the MVP? when
Because
Devin
he was a
Booker-
difference maker. They brought him into Phoenix, and then he made the difference.
No, but nobody ever cares about the actual value of a player. They
What about
care
D-Rose?
about who's putting up the best numbers on the best team.
What about D Rose? He wasn't putting up the best numbers.
He shouldn't have been the MVP. That was a popularity contest.
You think LeBron should have gotten over?
Yes, LeBron was averaging like 27, 8 and 8
He was.
on like a second seed Heat, and the Bulls
Yes.
are first seed, and he's averaging what, like 24, 6 and 4 or something.
So do you think it should be the best player, like you said, on the best team, or do you think it should be the most integral player on the best team?
I think MVP is sometimes is. Mm,
Because best player on the best team for the Suns is Devin Booker, right? Best player, best
yeah.
team, right? But the most integral player is Chris Paul.
Like people get confused. Is this most valuable, best player on the team?
I think he just has to be on one of the best teams, like a top 5 team in the league, and putting up the best numbers and putting up the best value.
To me, an MVP is putting out the best numbers
On the best team.
on the best team. Top three teams with.
I say
best
top
numbers.
5, top 5.
I
feel
wouldn't
like
go top
ranking-
5. I would
ranking-
go with
There's
Alex.
two conferences.
I would say top
There's
3,
two
man.
conferences.
I would go with Alex.
Ranking has a big part to do with it.
I agree with that.
And the stats, of course.
Just based on that, in my opinion, I think Joel Embiid should win MVP.
I feel like Jokic, bro. But
With either or, I'm satisfied because both of them deserve it. They're both super dominant, just in different ways. But they're both putting up big numbers.
The only reason I give it to Joel Embiid over Jokic though is that Joel Embiid plays really great defense. Jokic doesn't have defense like that.
that's true. And Philly's #1 in the conference.
And Philly's number 1 in the conference.
That is a good point. It's just also is it Jokic's his ability to take over a game is probably a little bit more significant than Joel Embiid's.
Do you think that? Well,
They all end.
Because who's Philly's second hand is Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
And obviously, I despise Ben Simmons in certain ways, but at the end of the day,
Tobias Harris.
he's still an all-star, you know. Like Nuggets, the next man who was Jamal Murray,
Jamal Murray.
and Jamal Murray's not even playing.
Well, if we're gonna go at the cast, like the supporting cast, then Jokic is doing more with less, or he's not doing more, but he's doing a
He is
lot
doing
with
more
less
with
people.
Philly's
He's not doing
kinda
more because he's not
stacked
number
if you
1.
really think about it.
Philly is stacked,
Philly is stacked.
Steph Curry,
and they have Dwight Howard now.
Dwight Howard, Tobias Harris.
Yeah, and
Bro,
those are max player. Tobias Harris is a max contract. He's a big time player. He averages like 18, 19 a game.
18, 19 a game.
Yeah,
I don't think he deserves a max contract, but
I feel like if you're putting above average numbers, you're more likely to get a max contract.
how about this? If he was in a different team, do you think he'd be putting up better numbers?
Slightly, not much.
Not slightly, because I was looking at this statistic, man, that this year, right, compared to other years, we have so many players scoring more than 20 points per game that it's a crazy. I don't
It is
remember the
crazy.
statistic.
Is it the basketball nowadays has been such a number crazy game that it's almost like statistics don't mean nothing anymore. Like as far as back in the day,
doesn't.
yeah, bro.
like your best
I don't know,
players
Alex,
are averaging.
Can you pull up
20
the top 50 scoring NBA players right now so we can look at how many people are scoring
top
more?
50?
Top 50, yeah. So we can see
Top
who's
50.
scoring more than 25 points a game. Because there should be at least 10 dudes.
Oh, more than 10.
And that
for
wasn't
sure.
happening before, bro. I remember the days where it was like, there was like 4 people scoring more than 25 points a
Isn't
game.
Curry averaging like 34 a game or something like that? And then I think Beal's averaging like 31, 32.
I think it's 30. I think they're both averaging around 32.
I think a lot with because like you said, like a lot of people are scoring like 20. Like it seems like the stats are fucking crazy. The thing, like the #1 reason about that is probably the pace.
Yeah.
The game got really fast, so it's just back and forth shooting. Boom.
Yep. Everyone can
More
shoot threes now too.
More possessions, more.
I
field goals.
feel like when it's all said and done, James Harden will be the #1 all-time scorer.
I disagree.
I don't think so.
With the
I
way he's able to
disagree.
get to the line,
I feel like it determines by pacing, because you know, like, oh, the youngest person to score this amount of points by 21. You feel me? I feel like
I don't think James
Harden,
Harden's
like, the
knees
first few years, he was
has
scoring,
no.
like 13 a game and like low averages. Like he started off pretty slow, like Kawhi Leonard. Like he's not.
I think he had a late start.
He had a very late start.
He
And
probably, but maybe let me check.
and the thing is too that James Harden, to me, he doesn't seem like he's physically built to last that long scoring at the pace that he's scoring in the NBA.
It's just I feel like the years that that players are lasting is getting older. It's getting larger as the years go by. Back in the early 2000s, players were in and out by early 30s.
They were banging more back then though too. 'Cause the defense was a
there's
lot more physical.
contact. So these players, so like Vince Carter is like one of one. Like to how old was he? Like 42.
So bad.
He was like 42 when he retired. So I feel like as time goes by, you're gonna see more of that. With the fact that everything's just advancing and the game has gone less contact.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron's gonna probably play till he's like 40 something.
Would you say that the Golden State Warriors, right, when they had their 73-9 record, did they revolutionize basketball, or the way basketball's played?
Fuck the Warriors. they did revolutionize the game, but it's more because of Steph Curry and their ball movement. The ball movement has been done before by the Spurs, but the fact is that Steph Curry changed the whole.
Yeah, but
the
not
whole,
with that shooting, man.
Steph Curry changed the whole sport.
But I feel like the change in basketball started with the Heat when they started using the small lineups and they had Chris Bosh playing at center.
The ones that Roy Hibbert would feast on.
Yeah, and they did the great spacing and they have the center at 3-point line shooting threes. Like they were like I guess the first to start that.
Because they were playing Battier sometimes at center. I remember that. They would just go
Joel
with like that
Anthony
depth.
was 6'8".
Joel Anthony?
Joel Anthony
Yeah,
was,
but Joel Anthony wasn't shooting no damn
Yeah,
threes.
he wasn't spacing the
he
floor.
was, but he was a center.
Yeah, well, he wasn't shooting threes. We're talking about like spacing the floor with just straight up shooters. Because Shane Battier would switch to center sometimes, and they just had a bunch of shooters on the floor with LeBron.
The way the game changed is the spacing. Now the centers they shoot threes, so now
Center
the
shoots
centers
threes.
will be over there.
Yeah, they're not under the rim anymore.
They're not in the rim.
They're
so
stretched out. They're stretched centers now.
Exactly. So they'll bring the center out of the defensive line, so people could cut inside. You know, the game is
Now
completely different
now Dwight Howard's shooting threes. Now JaVale McGee's shooting threes.
Dwight Howard shooting threes now?
Dwight Howard's shooting threes now.
Still shoot. He can't shoot free throws still though.
More or less the same.
I don't think that. Yeah.
Probably a little bit better. Probably like in the 70%.
The game has changed so much though.
Yeah. And then now centers that don't shoot threes, they're like, oh, what if he could shoot threes? And then he's going to try and attempt to shoot threes.
They have to develop a 3-point shot. If they
And
want
now
to play
it's
in today's
like,
NBA.
before it was more like players are just what they were. Like, I don't know. Like Stoudemire. Stoudemire is one of those players. Some people were just like, oh, like they're just what they are. They're one of one. But now it's like, okay, like Giannis. They're like, okay, he's great, but if he could shoot this, he'd be better. It's like they're always looking for the next thing.
That's right.
that
Like
they're
just a complete player, right?
Yeah, everybody, they're looking for just complete players all across the board.
You think the game is finally catching up to the all-time greats? Like, let's say, because, you know, we had, like, you know, Jerry West, this and that, and then we had...
Jerry West wouldn't do shit in today's game. Yeah.
You know, like, the levels goes up.
Yes.
Is that the athletic talent has skyrocketed since those days?
Yeah, man.
That those people wouldn't do shit in today's
And the
day.
thing
And
is,
if,
it's not the
even
same.
the best would do way less.
The
Like,
thing is, it's not the same, man. Because like the way that people, like the ways that nutrition has advanced, the way training has advanced, recovery has advanced. Like the guys in the past, they did not have access to the same technologies and the same like methods that they have today. So right now they're a lot more inclined to be better because they can train better, eat better, recover better.
Imagine Greg Harris versus like Bob Cousy. Who do you think's winning that 1-on-1?
Damn, Bob Cousy, you're about to get crossed up, man.
But yeah, like today's game has changed a lot for the better. I feel like.
You think there's more competition now?
Yeah, obviously the thing we miss is the grit, the more like
Less intensity,
physicality.
more competition, but less intensity.
So we don't get that grit as much as we used to, but it's more of a finesse game, a game where Kyrie, the Currys are blossoming.
Kyrie has the craziest balance that I've ever seen on a human being.
Best handle of all time.
Not just handles, the way that he can balance his body and like just contort.
And he has like this sneaky strength.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because like it's just weird for such a like because he's tiny, right? He's like 6'1", 6'2". He's not very tall. 6'3".
Yeah, and he's like he's lost weight over the years too. He doesn't look as thick as he used to.
He doesn't. But just the balance that he has to take contact and just finish is crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, we got the plan.
But season awards, rookie of the year, I think because of LaMelo's time off, that is going to go to Anthony Edwards.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Did he drop 42 the other day?
I don't know. I think so.
42.
But Anthony Edwards has been playing consistently well on a team with Kat and D'Angelo Russell.
That kid's a star, man. That kid's a star in the making.
Yeah.
Like a superstar in the making.
Yeah, and he's hilarious. He has like that Marshawn Lynch personality to him. They're like something. He even know who A-Rod was.
Like Alex Rodriguez?
Yeah, he didn't know. He's the owner of the Timberwolves now.
Is he? Oh,
yeah.
I thought he got denied for that ownership group thing.
I think that was Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett got denied?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I can see why. The Cheerios, the Honey Nut Cheerios. Can be calling other owners wives Cheerios and stuff.
I thought he called Melo's wife that.
Yeah, but if you're capable of doing that, you know you're capable of saying some other
I
outlandish
just said yes. He had incidents that we maybe not know about, but there were definitely incidents.
We're gonna catch him with a Paul Pierce moment. It's on live with a blunt in his hand.
Jesus Christ, I hate Paul Pierce.
Well, speaking about crazy stats, Russell Westbrook, 4th time averaging triple-double for the season.
That's a great example of how
Yeah,
athletics have become way better.
Yeah, that's another example of how this game has changed. where before it was what Big O was Oscar Robertson was the only player in like 1,000
Oscar Robertson dribbling with the one hand for like
yeah, for
fucking
like
50 seconds.
how long that record stood for so long. That was what, like in the 60s or 70s or something.
Yeah, 67.
Yeah, and that seemed like a statistic that was impossible to reach. And now Russell's done it, and the first time he did it, everybody was praising him. Oh, you're averaging a triple double. You're the first player since Big O,
Yeah,
whatever.
man.
Bomb.
And now it's just
And
normal.
then MVP.
Now it's normal.
He won his MVP, and then the second year, oh, but he's turning the ball over. But now everybody's looking at everything else and say, oh, but he can't shoot. But you're a ball hog. But you're a bad teammate. And it's like, okay, but you guys are forgetting that this guy's still averaging a fucking triple double. He's the only player that's ever do that.
Well, I'll tell you what too, because his usage rate is crazy. So how much does the actual triple double translate into wins? Because that's what I would care about if I'm a head coach or a
It
GM
doesn't,
or
but
anything.
you have to look at the positions that he's been in. Because once Kevin Durant left, he blossomed as a player. And who else did he have? Who was his second option? Steven Adams.
No, but
They
remember,
didn't
he
have
got
much.
Melo,
Oh,
he got Paul George.
But that was not a
did,
Melo.
man.
Melo's not a player that's gonna help you get wins.
No, but he had Paul George.
Paul
bro.
George is definitely
They
somebody you should win
they
with.
should have done something with that.
Yes, him and Paul George, and
I
they had
agree.
they had Shea Gilgeous-Alexander there or not?
Shy,
Not yet,
no,
not yet.
No, not yet. He got traded to the Clippers. No,
Yeah.
you're right.
and he's a promising
And
player.
Steven Adams too. Don't forget about Steven Adams, man. Because
Yeah.
Steven Adams was up in there too.
That boy cheeks.
He's above average.
Not in the Thunder, bro. He was literally just setting screens that
He
put
just
people
known
on
for
his
being
ass.
strong
Those dunks
and
too.
screens.
Rebounding, played good defense.
Above average. I don't think he ever averaged a double.
No, I think he might have.
No, I don't think so.
Nah, I don't think so.
I think he's like a 7-8 rebound.
That would
game
that would be crazy if they didn't average like a double. I could have sworn that he had like 10, 11 rebounds a game some seasons. Just so strong. Like how could he not? You know.
But I have Anthony Edwards winning Rookie of the Year.
I do too. That kid's gonna be a star.
Just off of consistency and LaMelo getting hurt. It just happened to be the time.
That's what sucks too, man. Because it would have been a lot tighter if LaMelo didn't get hurt.
Yeah, I agree.
Because LaMelo's got some
And
sauce
if
to
LaMelo
him.
wins, I do feel like it's a popularity vote.
Yeah, for sure.
LaMelo is the perfect mix between Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LeVar. Put up into one.
Like LeVar's height.
LeVar's like just not giving a fuck attitude. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because he does have that like I know I'm a rookie, but I'm gonna go all out. I don't give a fuck about anything, and I'm gonna put on a show every single night.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot my shots.
Yeah, like LeVar's like that.
Yeah, there's no shyness in his game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you're gonna see me, you're gonna feel me type shit
Yeah.
for the best or for the worst. Like if he's having a bad game, like you're gonna feel.
You're gonna feel that shit, yeah.
Yeah, but if it's good, like he's gonna be everything. He's gonna be all the energy.
Mm-hmm. And LeVar called it too. He was like, my youngest child's
Yeah,
gonna be
he's
my
gonna be
best
the
one.
best
And bro, you were right about that one.
But Leandro was like experiment 626. It's like let's put this man in Lithuania and see what happens. The
Oh,
man's
Lord.
built like a tight end.
Yeah, he should have played football though. To be honest.
He's like 6'5", 260, right?
He's 6'6".
He's 6'6". Bro, that's tight end all over the place.
Shannon Sharp, as they put that boy some pads and bring him my way.
Gotta love Uncle Sharp.
But yeah, so that's far as everything for the NBA. What's going on in Colombia? So there's a lot going on in Colombia. The state raised the tax rate. That's what it was.
To 19%
To 19%.
on essential living things.
On essential things like medicine, eggs, milk.
How you gonna tax eggs, man?
How do you tax fucking
It's eggs.
medication?
Well, you're right. I guess it's a little more important than eggs. But, you know.
Fucking medication. These people are dying and they're already sickly as it is. If they're sickly, it's less likely they're working.
And they're hungry in the morning because of the lack of eggs.
Because of their lack of calcium and. But
It is crazy though, man. Like and not just that, just the fact that people are getting beat in the streets and a lot of people have been getting killed. That's,
people are getting brutally killed for protesting about things that should just be a given and not something they should have to fight for.
There's a lot of corruption too, if you think about it, like with the government.
Yeah, because the government before the government of Colombia has always been, what's the better word for it?
Not Pablo Escobar.
Yeah. So before they were funded on
Some
that horse dandruff.
the horse dandruff.
But now they have different ways of being corrupt, like just raising the tax wages, and then because of COVID, these people a lot more people are unemployed. So how are you gonna raise the taxes where people have to spend more money and unless people are working? That makes.
And
no
I'll tell you
sense.
what too, man. Like we see the impact of COVID here, and it's been bad. But if you think about it, we don't know how bad it's been on other less developed countries.
Exactly.
So if you look at countries like Colombia,
Yeah, countries like
you
that
know,
don't have the ability to just bounce right back like
exactly.
we do, where we thrive off of business and all these things. Nobody there is able to bounce back like that. These people
Because
are
we
poor.
adapted too. I mean, like we've adapted to the fact. Okay, like we have the vaccines. We've done started to work more from home. So it's not
Vaccines
like
are accessible everywhere.
yeah, they are.
Yeah, and then gyms have
Are you
opened
getting
up and
vaccinated?
modified. I'm not getting
No, I'm not
vaccinated.
getting vaccinated either.
These
I get my second shot on the 7th.
Yeah,
Oh,
When Alex starts
Tomorrow is the 7th, actually.
when
I get
Alex
my
starts
second
growing
oh
fucking
yeah,
wings
tomorrow.
and you see a different producer, do you know why?
shot.
He's gonna fucking come with heat vision.
He's gonna be more powerful than Omni Man.
He'd be fucking Omni Man.
I hope so, though. Fucking lit.
Start growing scales and shit.
Dude. But yeah, man,
I'm
just
gonna wait a year, like a good
a
year.
good year.
Yeah,
If you had to get one, which one would you get right now?
not the Johnson and Johnson.
Not the.
People are growing an extra left foot. I'm not getting that shit.
Oh man, people are growing tails and horns.
Yeah, I'm good off of that.
Pfizer then.
Pfizer.
I just like the name Pfizer. Sounds fancy.
I've seen I Am Legend. I know how this could play out.
That's understandable.
We start. I'm just shooting.
It's like, hey man, Alex looking a little pale today.
Yeah, once you start getting like the. But like I seen how this plays out. I've seen like a good 6 seasons of Walking Dead. Like
Yep.
I know.
But yeah, man, not to get too off topic. Again, we feel for Colombia,
Yeah.
and hopefully that situation
Something
gets
needs to
resolved.
be done. Something needs to be changed. These people need to be heard. And I'm hearing situations where people are being taken on ambulances because they've been injured during the protests, and they don't make it to the hospital or they disappear, and that's crazy, man. It's like these people are desperate and need to be heard. Something needs to be done. I think the government tried to make some type of modifications on the bill, and it changed literally nothing.
Hmm.
So yeah, justice for Colombia. They need something done.
Yeah, hopefully it gets resolved.
We need to, if there's any way, if anybody has any ideas on how we can help from over here, feel free to comment, and I'd love to see what we can do from here. If it's just bring more awareness on the podcast and things like that, then we can do that. Cause we need more than a couple of reposts. In all honesty, something needs to be done.
And in lighter news, then what do you think of this whole Phase 4 thing with Marvel?
Multiverse. We want the fucking multiverse. That's what the fuck I want.
We want Tobey Maguire. We
I
want him in the
Tobey
original
Maguire
Spider-Man
at
suit.
How old is Tobey Maguire? Like 48?
And I want the side part. I don't want him with the stupid little ruffled hair that he had as Black Spider-Man. I want him to look like Tobey Maguire,
Like nerdy Spider-Man?
like nerdy Spider-Man.
Yeah, like we don't care about Andrew Garfield. Like, you know, it could only help, not hurt.
I never liked him.
Nobody
that
liked
kid,
Andrew
nothing.
Garfield that much.
Yeah.
But you can't not like Spider-Man.
I never seen the Andrew Garfield movies.
I never
Never
seen
seen
him
him.
anything
I saw the
else.
first one. I haven't seen.
I never seen him anything else.
He looks like a cat to me. It reminds me of like a very feline features.
It's just it's just you can't not like Spider-Man, but he didn't do anything for me, and for most people, because nobody ever talks about Andrew Garfield unless it's about something multiverse wise.
People like to be like, oh my god, but I like the suit. Oh my god, but like he was a good Peter Parker. Oh no, he was a great Spider-Man.
Yeah, bro. Like, nobody wants to hear that bullshit.
The movies are ass though.
Yeah, bring back 48-year-old Tobey Maguire.
And James Franco. I want him to be the Green Goblin Part 2.
Oh, I heard they're bringing back the original Doctor Octopus. Is that true?
Are they? That'd be fun. Oh,
I
dude.
heard that. That would be cool. That'd be really
Bro,
cool.
he's a really good actor, bro.
I never seen him in anything
His
else.
performance in Spider-Man 2
Yeah,
was great.
yeah, perfect.
Like you really felt for the villain, bro. Like that was like one of the first like movies where they show like the villains. And,
Bro,
like,
didn't that man create a son? He created a son.
Cuz.
Oh, you mean like a
Yeah, like an actual son. He created
yeah,
a
and he
mini
was like,
son.
you gotta put it in the water. Yeah, I remember that.
It's like, bro, Jesus.
Bro, he could have literally ended.
Yes,
Everything right there.
everything right there.
The Earth.
Right
Yes.
there, literally right
Fuck the
there.
Earth, the solar system.
He would have killed the Power Rangers and everything, dog.
Those guys are invincible.
But yeah, so that and the Doctor Strange, it seems like it's the only way where we're able to get a multiverse Spider-Man, because he has the stone, right? Does he have a stone?
Yeah, he has the time stone. He has the green.
He has a time stone. He's able to go to different universes.
Well, I don't know if he still has it.
Because of that, the whole Thanos blowing up the stone
Yeah,
too.
because they snapped. Remember, Iron Man snapped. But I don't know. They probably did a finesse, nigga. They
Well,
probably did some finesse.
Doctor Strange is he could figure something out. Point is, this the only way this happens is through
He's a
him.
doctor.
He's a doctor.
He's
man.
a physician.
Yeah, he's done brain surgery and shit. The only way this can happen is with Doctor Strange through him, and the title is what?
Multiverse of Madness, I think.
Oh,
It has
that sounds-
multiverse
that
in the
sounds
title.
Fantastic. That's gonna be
It
great.
can't not happen. Like they hear all this rumble and shit like that, and they're fucking with us.
How about
So-
Thor: Love and Thunder?
I don't know what it could be about, but isn't Thor with the Guardians?
Probably a lot of thunder and love.
Yeah, supposedly I think he's with the Guardians, but supposedly the new Thor movie is supposed to have Natalie Portman as like female Thor or something. I guess she was like taking lead.
Natalie Portman.
Something like that.
Natalie Portman.
I don't know how I feel about that.
What's her name? Padme.
Padme. That was a very The films were bad, but she was the best redeeming quality in all those films.
She was sexy. She said, "Annie, how much you grown?"
Wasn't that a little weird though? Because she was like,
No, I felt that.
she was
And
like,
it's funny because you look at Obi-Wan and he's like,
bro, come on, he was like 10 years old and she was like a good 16. You're like, come on now.
Obi-Wan's like you know what's going on. But yeah, and then the real big thing, what is it? The Black Panther movie. By what, 2022? Sometime in 2022.
That seems reasonable.
2022,
Do you know how they're gonna do it? Are they gonna like CGI
Chadwick?
onto the
They can't have that much footage like ahead of the time. Oh, they didn't Paul Walker it?
I mean, there was like one scene right with Paul Walker.
Yeah, but it wasn't so far after his passing that they made it.
And they got his brother as the CGI double, right? Like the actual body.
Yeah, so Chadwick passed away last year in like July, August?
I'm not sure.
Whatever, he passed away last year. So it'd be 2 years after his passing. And I can't see them having 2 years
Worth of footage.
No,
I can agree with that, especially because he was like trying to do another movie in that time.
Yeah, he was filming another movie as well. I don't see that happening. I don't want to recast.
I would be okay with a recast if it's done tastefully and properly.
I'm not ready for a recast.
I would be okay with that.
I'm not ready for. They need to make his sister the Black Panther.
Well, in the comic books, and Alex knows a lot more about this. She takes on the mantle of some sort of superhero in the comics, right, Alex?
Isn't it Black Panther?
Yeah, I don't know. I just said
You know?
like maybe like if they were supposed to do a storyline, maybe they should have her try to fight for it instead of like them just handing it to her.
Yeah, it shouldn't be something so given, and then they need to find a way to make the story fit. It can't just be like Chadwick went to college. You get what I mean? I mean, T'Challa.
I'm pretty sure they'll probably have him like died in battle or something. They'll probably do something.
Yeah, so there needs to be some. They need to find a. They have a lot of work to do, to be honest.
Maybe it could have been something during Endgame Part 2. Maybe that they could tie that into it. Like maybe he died like in battle or something. Like you said.
Like Wakanda, they're like, oh fuck it, we're just gonna give our technology because people probably need it.
Mm-hmm.
People probably get like weaker in forces and this and that, and they probably have like in the time skip like just T'Challa died in like battle or something.
Or maybe like someone assassinated him because he was trying to give all that technology to the world. That'd be a pretty good one.
Assassination maybe, but that'll be kind of because they can't have this dude on film. They're gonna have him on screen.
That writer has a job ahead of him.
Yeah, they really do. That writing team.
That writing team they have a lot of work to do.
I'm really excited.
Wakanda Forever is like you're doing something. Like what you're doing.
It's gonna be an homage to Chadwick.
It has to be. What other movies came out from Marvel?
Yeah,
Dude, excited as hell for Blade with Cottonmouth from Luke Cage as being Blade. How do you feel about that casting?
I just feel like it has a large room for error, but then again, Marvel has been doing very well in the past so years. Because usually for normal films, I'm not a big fan of reboots, typically, but Marvel I trust. Because Marvel's they rebooted Spider-Man 1,000 times. So
That they did.
So that's so they have a good rap for that. So there is a large room for error, but if they nail it, it can be iconic.
It really could be. If they do it properly, it could be a really nice movie. I always like the Blade movies too, man. With Wesley Snipes.
It's hard to find a good vampire movie that's not
Twilight. The best vampire movie.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's like for.
Is there a better vampire movie? Blade?
I don't want to insult anyone, but Twilight's for like divorced middle-aged moms and preteens.
The Beliebers?
Yeah,
The One Directions?
The One Directioners, yes.
Yeah.
The one, oh, nobody understands me. I live in a world.
I live in
Different.
I'm so different like everybody else. Why do I feel the Billie Eilish fans?
the Billie Eilish. Oh, she's got one eyelash, nothing else.
But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy should be a good movie. I heard something. I saw something of like what's the Groot saying like we are Groot or like him passing away or something. I saw it somewhere on Twitter.
Like Baby Groot.
Yeah, but he was Big Groot again because he eventually grows. Is he still Baby Groot in the next movie?
I think he's like a teenager or a kid.
In Endgame 2, he's
A kid. He's a baby.
no, because he had grown up, right? Because they made the handle.
He grew up a little bit.
Right, yeah, they made the handle of no, that was Endgame 1.
Oh, you talking about
Infinity Wars.
War.
Yeah, Infinity Wars.
So when he made Thor's thing.
Yeah, he was
The
a
He
teenager.
made like the staff part.
He was a teenager already,
handle of
and then
the-
he got when Thanos snapped his fingers. He got killed.
Mhm.
So I don't know if he's grown now, but we will have to see.
Thor has a good. Well, all Thor movies are good.
Man, isn't it crazy that Vin Diesel?
Thor 2 was kind of whack.
Hey,
bro.
Thor 2 was butts.
I don't
It
know.
was straight
bro.
butts.
The Thor movies, Thor 1. Thor is only good in Avengers and like other movies, but his Thor movies were kind of whack.
The second one was straight up ass. The first one wasn't that bad. Like the first one was watchable.
Yeah.
The third one, Ragnarok, is
Dope.
dope.
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok
How
is
can I
dope.
forget Ragnarok.
Ragnarok
I'm
is-
tripping. dog.
Ragnarok is dope.
Fire, gas.
That's the best one.
Because the thing is, didn't they
By
change like the director, right, and stuff like that for
I don't
Ragnarok,
know.
and it completely changed the whole vibe of the
But
movies.
Ragnarok is the best by far.
It is.
by
No, that's not
For me,
debatable.
it's top 5 for me. Best one movies for me.
I'd agree. I would be
I love.
I would have to think about it, but you're probably right.
Top
and
five,
and
yeah.
they have the Hulk.
I had a Kevin Durant moment. But how can I forget? How can I forget Russell Westbrook, bro?
And you have the Hulk, and you have the funny Hulk.
Yeah, the funny Hulk.
Yeah, the funny Hulk.
He's like, oh, it's my friend, the Hulk. Hulk's like, get ready to beat his ass.
It was just really entertaining movie to watch.
And it had a lot of comedy to it. as
Which
well.
is the difference. Before it was kind of like more dark.
That was the kind of one of the
Like the director change when the
yeah,
director
you
changed,
can see the sense of humor, like the change in energy.
Hey, did you guys see the Justice League, the Zack Snyder director's cut?
I haven't.
You haven't checked that out? It's like 4 hours long. It's in my opinion, is a lot better than the first one.
Nah, what the fuck, bro?
But I haven't seen it. I saw like the first half an hour, and I didn't really see that much of a difference from the original.
They changed some scenes, and for like Steppenwolf, the main bad guy, they in my opinion, they made him way cooler. Like they gave him a whole redesign, so he doesn't look like an alien
It's just
barbarian.
4 hours.
It's 4 hours.
4 fucking hours.
4 hours. 4 hours. They have some extra scenes here and there. There's some like differences, but yeah. Yeah, but yeah, man. Those Marvel movies are gonna be dope. Really gonna enjoy watching them, and we gotta get on that Demon Slayer stuff, man. Let's get those tickets. Really want to see that.
Yeah, I agree. What else?
We can talk about J. Cole album coming out next week, I think.
Yeah, so we have J. Cole album coming out on what, the 14th, the 18th?
I think the 17th, 14th. I think the 14th.
Oh, he's dropping a single tonight at midnight.
Yeah. The interlude.
Yeah, he's dropping the interlude, and
Love
it's
interludes.
giving mixtape vibes, cause what's it called, the off season?
The off season.
So it's kind of giving warm up, sideline story, Friday Night Lights kind of vibe.
Who's better at basketball, Quavo or J. Cole?
I say J. Cole, but because even though Quavo might be like stylistically maybe a little bit better, is that J. Cole's like 6'4",
Yo.
like 6'3", 6'4".
And J. Cole can ball, dude. All right, fine. How about this? Chris Brown, when he was in his prime before his addictions. Chris Brown versus J. Cole. Who do you think is a better basketball player?
Chris Brown, bro.
I say
Chris
J.
Brown
Cole.
was
I
filthy,
say
bro.
J. Cole. I saw an interview with the coach from St. John's University, which is the college that J. Cole went to, and he said that he
What's
saw
St. John's?
Yeah, he went to St. John's. That's where Chris Mullin came from.
Yeah, they know he went to St. John's. Pretty good.
Yeah, and then so he tried out for the basketball team, and then they interviewed the coach, and he said that he stood out as a person that was trying out, but he would barely show up because he was like in between his music life and his basketball life. That his heart wasn't really into the whole basketball thing, but he said he was way better than everybody else.
Yeah, kind of. He could have been a walk-on onto the team, right?
He said that he was on track to be a walk-on, and a walk-on on a D1 basketball school. I would take over Chris Brown, and his crack cocaine addiction.
What the thing?
Okay, and the one thing that's also going on is the Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather fight. It's coming in about June 4th or something like that.
Something like that.
June 6th. Yeah, so June 6th over here in Miami actually, and there's a lot of controversy and a lot of drama that happened today. If you just go on Instagram like any regular person, you'll see that a whole bunch of was it a squabble?
A squabble is a good way to put it.
That was a squabble ass situation. I never seen Floyd shook like that, to be honest.
Well, in all fairness, Jake Paul did take his hat, and the man clearly had not had a haircut. So, it was not the best light to cast Floyd Mayweather with a full head of hair.
Yeah.
Or whatever head of hair he has left.
He called Jake and Logan fake boxers, and Logan responded and said, "The only thing fake here is your hairline."
Yeah, man, and it was
That's a lot for a bald man. That's that hits.
Like he was wearing that hat because he didn't want anybody seeing his hairline that day.
No, he has been rocking his hair, but he looks like a fool.
Like that day, he did not want people seeing his hairline, and that shit was taken from him. His whole identity was taken from him by that
like
one
armadillo
hat.
Like armadillo pubic hair on his head.
Dude, he was so angry. I don't think I've ever seen him that angry.
Yeah, I've never seen him that angry, but it's because nobody's ever trolled him that hard. These boxers are usually more serious, and he can handle the shit talking. The verbal fight. He can just talk shit back.
Yeah, like just verbal sparring. It's
yeah,
okay.
verbal sparring is up to par, but
this is just disrespectful.
Yeah, this is disrespectful. And Logan puts on the story. He's like, "I can't wait to call this man little." And he stood in front of him. He's like, "You're short."
Oh, Jesus Christ!
The man is short.
He was yelling. He was like, "I'm gonna kill these guys. I'm gonna kill them," and he meant it too.
Who do you think is gonna win? Who would win in the fight?
Like a real fight?
Yeah.
No, I think Logan Paul would really beat the shit out of him. But Logan Paul's like
It's a street fight, yeah.
A street fight, yeah. He's a really good wrestler. He's in really good shape. He's huge. I mean, he's not gonna.
It's different when
I'm aware. It's just like
Like he's not gonna let
the best defensive fighter of all time, or
no. The best defensive boxer of all time, not fighter.
Defensive boxer of all time.
Not fighter, because I know a bunch of fighters that could fuck him up in MMA. Conor could fuck him up in MMA.
Yeah.
That's a fighter.
But that's gonna be a good fight. Ocho Cinco's fighting in that card. I have no idea who he's boxing.
Yo, Ocho Cinco?
Ocho Cinco just thinks he could conquer the world. I like his confidence.
No, his confidence is is admirable.
I've actually seen footage of him training, like 2 years ago, like him boxing. Like
Does he have hands?
Yeah, and his footwork is impeccable. Like obviously has a given because it's him, but he actually looks good boxing. He doesn't look like somebody who doesn't know what they're doing.
Well, has he been training for a while? Do you know?
I don't know if he's been training consistently because I saw those videos a while ago, but he does know what he's doing.
Okay.
So he's not like a complete bum that just came out of
like he's not a noob that just started boxing
he's not just
yesterday.
a complete noob. He actually knows what he's doing.
Like Big Nose. What was his name? Nah, I don't know how to say it. The one that Jake Paul boxed.
Oh, Gibb.
Gibb.
Anderson Gibb.
Something with a big nose. The kid has a big nose.
Yeah, he has a honker on him.
But
that should be a good fight. And we have Canelo fighting this weekend against Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah.
That's a huge fight.
Canelo's going to kill him. Canelo kills everybody.
Also. But the whole gypsy factor. He has Tyson Fury behind him.
I think just the gypsy factor affects it that much.
Yeah. The gypsy magic.
The Gypsy King and the Gypsy Magic.
But that's going to be a really entertaining fight. I got Canelo, of course. Decision, though. I got him winning decision.
What's it?
You got winning knockout?
I don't know, man. I think Canelo's gonna put him down. I don't know if it's gonna be knockout, maybe TKO. I don't think it's gonna be a clean knockout, but he's gonna put his ass down like 3 times. Would you put money on it? I would.
We'll talk after.
Talk later, yes. But yeah, man, solid talk. I think should start wrapping it up, right?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap today's episode up. It was a very good episode. Second episode. We're still just getting started. This show is gonna get better the more we do it. I expect an episode every week. We're still putting our best foot forward. It took us a while to get a couple things up, but things are running more smoothly now. We're getting better and we're working faster the more we do it. So expect the episode up soon on YouTube, SoundCloud. We're still working on getting it up on Apple and Spotify, but we will have those things up sometime soon. But today's a good episode. Tomorrow, next episode is also gonna be good, and we'll have some interesting things to talk about.
And if it's not, you can sue us.
You can sue George.
Please don't sue me.
But yeah, that's all for today's episode.
That's it, guys. Thank you everybody
much.
for tuning in.
Over your head. Thank you for the love. Continue to share, comment, like. Put the bell on. What's it called? Notification bell.
Right?
The notification bell. All our friends, family, showing love. We appreciate. We love you all. Continue to watch. For all the new listeners, stay tuned. Love you. Goodbye.
Take care, everybody.
Safe.
Appreciate it.